would you do if you saw a lion suffering in the wild, yet helpless to save it? In 2009, tourists in Tanzania's Mikumi National Park spotted something heartbreaking. A young male lion was dragging a tight wire snare around his neck, something poachers had set to catch smaller animals. But this lion had gotten tangled, and the snare was now slicing deeper into his skin as he grew. It was a death sentence, slow and cruel. Rescue teams tried 7 times, but the lion's fear and the rough terrain made it impossible to reach him. Over time, the wire tightened, and his wound became infected. Weak and unable to hunt, he seemed doomed. But then, something unexpected happened. Chapter 1. A pride like no other. In the wild, lions don't usually show mercy. A weak lion often becomes a threat or gets left behind. But not this time. Instead of turning on him, the other lions in his pride did the unthinkable. They began feeding him. They hunted and brought food back just for him. His brothers and sisters wouldn't let him die. For 3 long years, they kept him alive. This was loyalty, love, and strength we don't usually expect from wild animals. It wasn't just survival, it was family. Chapter 2. A cry for help goes viral. In May 2012, British photographer Gary Roberts captured a haunting image of the lion, still trapped in the snare, barely holding on. That photo made headlines, especially after the Daily Mail ran a story that tugged at the heartstrings of readers all over the world. The internet lit up. People shared the lion's story, called for help, and demanded action. And finally, it worked. The chief warden of Mikumi National Park, William Mwakalema, decided enough was enough. A massive search and rescue operation, the biggest ever attempted in the park, was launched. Chapter 3. The Great Lion Rescue. Mikumi National Park is no small place. It covers over 3,200 square kilometers, and it connects to the even bigger Selous Game Reserve, which is larger than Denmark. Finding one lion in this vast wilderness? Like searching for a needle in a haystack. But Mwakalema rallied the park's 77 rangers. Tourists were asked to report any lion sightings, especially if they saw any neck injuries. Finally, in August 2012, the lion was spotted again. This time, they were ready. A vet arrived with a tranquilizer rifle, but the operation was risky. 5 other lions from the pride surrounded the injured male, ready to protect him. Timing was everything. They got it just right. Chapter 4. Cutting the cord. As the lion slept under the medicine, the rangers gently used their trucks to move the rest of the pride away. The other lions were trying to protect him, but the team had to keep them safe during the rescue. The vet came close and saw that the wire had cut deep into the lion's neck. Some parts were even under his skin. It was a painful sight. Slowly and carefully, the vet used strong cutters to break the thick wire. Once the snare was off, they cleaned the wound. They put on purple medicine to stop infection and gave him drugs to help with pain. Then, they gave him the shot to wake him up. And then, they let him go. No cage, no chains, just freedom. After 3 long years of pain, the lion was finally free. And just like that, his suffering was over. Chapter 5. A New Beginning. No one knew what would happen next. Would the lion survive the infection from the deep wound on his neck? Would the other lions push him away because he had been weak for so long? Or worse, would the pain and fear make him dangerous to people? For a while, there was no news. No one saw him. In the wild, when animals go missing, it usually means something bad has happened. But then something amazing happened. A few months later, the lion was seen again, but this time, he looked strong. Photographer Gary Roberts, the man who had first brought attention to the lion's pain, came back to Mikumi National Park in November. He spent 6 days taking pictures of lions, hoping to find the same one. But as the days passed, there was still no sign of him. Then, on the very last night, just as it was getting dark, something moved in the tall grass. A lion stepped out, slowly, calmly. It was him. The lion, who had once been thin and in pain, now looked healthy. He had gained weight. His mane was growing back around his neck and shoulders. His eyes looked peaceful, not scared. He was finally healing. He walked toward his pride and lay down next to his brothers. There was no fighting, no growls, just quiet acceptance. They welcomed him like he had never been gone. It was more than just a recovery. It was something special, something you don't see often. It was a miracle. This lion, who had once been close to death, had survived thanks to love, care, and a little help from humans. He didn't just live, he came back stronger, and that made all the difference. Chapter 6. The Dark Reality of Poaching. Sadly, not every lion is this lucky. Poaching is on the rise across Africa. Lions are caught in snares meant for smaller animals like impalas, but some are hunted deliberately for their bones, claws, and skins. In the past, tiger parts were used in traditional Chinese medicine, but with tiger numbers dropping, lions have become the next target. Lion bones that were once worth $10 per kilogram are now being sold for over $300. The black market is booming, and it's driving lions closer to extinction. In the 1960s, Africa had over 200,000 lions. Now, there are just around 25,000 left. Chapter 7. Fighting Back. Park rangers and wildlife groups are working very hard to stop the growing problem of poaching. In parks like Mikumi, special patrol teams walk long distances every day to look for traps, protect animals, and watch for poachers. But it's not an easy job. More than 30% of Tanzania's land is set aside to protect animals and nature. That's a huge space, bigger than some countries. But it's hard to watch over such a big area, especially when there aren't enough people or tools to help. Many rangers don't have enough equipment, and some don't get paid well. They still risk their lives to protect animals, walking through tall grass, thick forests, and dangerous places. They keep going because they care deeply about saving wildlife. That's why help from outside is very important. One group making a big difference is the SANA project. It helps local people who live near parks. Instead of depending on hunting or harming nature, SANA gives them better ways to live, like growing food, making clean water available, and creating jobs that don't hurt the environment. They also focus on teaching kids about animals and why it's important to protect them. When children learn how special lions and other animals are, they grow up wanting to help. Tourism is another big help. When people come to visit and see the animals, their money supports the parks. It also gives local people a good reason to keep animals safe because healthy wildlife brings jobs and visitors. In the end, the best way to save animals like lions is to work together. Rangers, park staff, local villagers, and visitors all have a part to play. If everyone helps, we can stop poaching and make sure lions keep roaming wild for many years to come. Chapter 8. A Lesson from the Lion. What happened to this lion isn't just a rescue story, it's a reminder. A reminder that animals feel, that family is powerful, that even in the harshest places on Earth, compassion can shine through, and that if we work together, people, rangers, tourists, and communities, we can make miracles happen. So just imagine standing in the darkness of the African savanna, ready to pack up your gear after a long day. Then, out of nowhere, a lion steps from the shadows. The same lion once left for dead. He walks toward his pride, not limping, not hiding, but with confidence. He lies down beside his siblings. He's home. That's the image Gary Roberts captured, and that's the image we'll remember. Everyone expected that lion to die. Some even feared he'd turn violent once rescued. But instead, he healed. He rejoined his family. He forgave the world. So, what do you think? Is this just animal instinct, or proof that love and loyalty go beyond what we understand? Let us know in the comments. Was this lion's survival a miracle, or the power of family? And if this story moved you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more powerful wildlife stories that show just how much we all share this planet.